Hi folks, right, last watercolour for a few days I think. I might do one for Patreon in the morning. But I want to get back to my oil paintings, but I'll do another water scene, the lake scene. I'll base it on like the previous demonstration. I want to try greens. Now greens are always a problem for most of us when you don't use the ready mixed greens, which I don't in watercolour. Excuse me. So I'll be mixing blue, ultramarine blue, with cadmium yellow and some Payne's grey, and see what we come up with there. Right, I'll wet the paper all over, usual way. Hakes, of course. I've done the mops and sables this week, and I can't say they are my sort of brushes, but I never really persevered long enough to get good at them. The Hake was my brush. Okay, let's get a nice bit of raw sienna. I'll try to listen to radio with my cheap Bluetooth headphones. But I'm up in the top of the house and the Wi-Fi is a little bit selective up here. Right, okay, let's put a nice bit of blue in. Ooh. So it's a nice bit of fresh ultramarine. Let's just even that out a bit. Just a little bit of blue in the foreground water, and we'll have a little bit of cloud, some bit of red, bit of blue. This all dries much lighter than when you first put it on. But a nice bit of movement in that sky. Okay, while the paper's wet you can do anything with it. It's when it starts to dry. I'm just going to put that Hake there. I'll reclip it. We call this a beginner's wet in wet painting with a Hake. Before I got onto YouTube about 7.5 years ago, I spent much longer on paintings and bring them to a greater degree of finish. But we're doing demonstrations solidly for 7.5 years. I've got my way of painting now, which is as quick as I can make it. Right, hairdryer. Now it looks like I've got a blue cloud there, doesn't it? Rather than that, you can re-wet it and work over it, but I'm not going to do that. We'll let that stand as some light cloud in front of the sky. Can't do much else really. Now I'll leave it. Or shall I? No, let's give it a... No, I'll just dry it a bit more and we'll try a risky operation. I don't usually do this, as you know, but re-wet the paper. Don't disturb the paint underneath. Then we can get a bit of a darker shadow over the front of that sky there. Can afford to make that a bit darker now. Just feather that, that's it. Still not good, is it? Okay, well we'll let that go. I'll dry it again. Headphones off. Okay, well we'll put that down to experience. Right, now get a nice very pale colour. Oh, not that pale. That's just a bit too faint. Right, now we've got quite a bit of blue there now, so I'm going to go across the water. I was looking at a photo, I think might have been on a TV programme, where the reflection was the blue sky on the horizon. So you can leave it white if you want and put a bit of dry brush in to give an impression of wind ruffling, but you can have darker blue on the horizon underneath the landscape, which would be right. I found that out yesterday. Got to drink my tea. Well, but while that's drying off, I'll put a little bit of dry brush in the water. This is, I'll try it. This is Saunders Waterford Rough, £90 rough, so very lightweight, but a great paper. So let's just dry all this because I want to put in some land, some more plains in that mountainous, hilly background. Right, now let the fun begin. I'll use my medium hake now. We've got a bit of sienna. It's all quite light. Now that's lifting there probably because it's like dry. Right, okay. Let's do a bit of foreground now while that's drying off. So let's have a bit of yellow. No, let's have a bit of burnt umber. Right, I'm going to try that green now. So this is the blue, bit of cad yellow. Get that nice mix. And what did I say? A bit of Payne's grey. I want a darkish, richest green. Oh, that's quite good. So that's ultramarine. With Payne's grey, ultramarine and cadmium yellow. Right, okay, let's do a bit of the other side. So a bit more yellow. That's a great green, isn't it? Isn't it? I'm trying to remember to drink my tea. I love salt marsh. It's a texturing that I think I like. Just creating an illusion. A bit of burnt sienna in there. A bit of Ireland across that inlet. Okay, how are we doing? Well, I can't say that my Bluetooth speakers, my Bluetooth headphones up here are any good. My son had also clubbed together about a year or so ago and bought me a set of really good quality Bluetooth headphones, but it didn't last. I've had these much longer, a third the price, and they've been really good, but they don't seem to want to work up here very well. I usually, the tablets I've got, which is just a convenience, I have one of those little Sony speakers, the sort of roundy ones, and they work beautifully. Payne's grey, bit more blue. Of course, we're in distance, we need more blue, plenty of water on the brush. And oh, that's a lovely blue-green. There's a bit more yellow in it. Okay, well that's okay so far. Plenty of texture. Can add a little bit of dark in there when it's dry. Let's dry it off a bit. Then we can carry on. Headphones off. Now that's a pretty good dark green, I think you'll agree. You just adjust the blue, the colours, just to get the green you want. So I'm going to work on that in the future. Right, now then, let's get a bit of a... Now I'm not sure how this will pan out. Because if the paper's a bit wet, it will spread. But it doesn't really matter, because doing these sort of hedgerows, a lot of water on there. On moors, and English moors, you get a lot of farming going on. It's not entirely barren. One of my subscribers, Philip, lives on the edge of Dartmoor. Lucky devil. We were going to some moors in Cornwall, and we've been to Cornwall many times. That's why I paint it so much. Because I'm living in suburbia, as I do, South London. Oh, it's very pleasant. It's very nice. Loads of parks, but we haven't got the vistas. Oh, we're just trying to create farmland. Bit stilted, huh? Try to get some tree shapes there. We travel, when we go to Cornwall, we pick up the, we go to partly the motorway and then poodle on down the A303 till it changes to the A30. And then you've got Dartmoor in the distance with Exeter, the main Devon town. Then about an hour beyond there, going to magical Cornwall. My Devon's beautiful as well. Okay, well that gives a bit of a... So let's do a little bit of bluer light stuff in here. Just then it'll just go into nothing. Okay, Dartmoor. But there's no lake like that in Dartmoor, on Dartmoor. Now that will dry faint, I hope. And we've got a nice... You can see where it's starting to spread, soaking into the paper. But that's okay, that goes indistinct. Now we'll do... I'll give it a dry and we'll do a bit of texture in the foreground and maybe some warmer colours. I'm going to use my chisel shaped brush and just put in some buildings, I think. Just the blue bit of red, well not that much. That's, no. Well, just some bits of building. They might be just a bit, yeah, they're too big, aren't they? Rubbing them out. Get a bit smaller, I think. Well, no, I won't pursue with that. Right, let's use Payne's grey, bit of yellow. Nothing new about this. Okay, just a little bit of that. Alright, let's get another one over the other side. A bit of burnt umber in there. Right, now clean the brush. We'll have a bit of autumny colour, I think. Or sure, no, let's go for that green. Just break the brush up. Get some Payne's grey, cad yellow, bit of ultramarine. Darker on that side, and then we're going to do a bit more on the other side, a bit of water in there. See what happens to your brush? Look, you get loads and loads of little spikes. Okay, right, I can put a little bit of detail in there with the rigger. And I think we'll I could put a bird in. Oh, terrible. I'll just lift out a bit. That seems to work better than the white gouache. It's just a hint. Okay, I'll sign it and put a mount on it. Right, lovely rigger that one. That one comes to a point, so the other one I've got, well I've got several, but I'll show you the other one to compare, and I've used it for some years, is that one, but as you can see it comes to a chisel end. It's pointed there, it comes to that square end. This one comes to a point. This is lovely. Right, okay, mount. I've done many times, but always different. Quite a delicate one there. That's not too bad. That's a bit of a cop out. So I hope you like that one. Call it Lakeland scene again, which it is. I've been to the Lake District several times. That's a beautiful part of North England, North East England. Gets a lot of rain. That's why it's called the Lake District. There's lovely hills and farms and loads of leisure activity going on some of the lakes. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.